Good morning, Christine here from Boxing for Health with 3 exercises that are going to help improve your balance and also make your walking gait that much stronger and more effective. So for all of us doing a little bit more walking now, being stuck inside more, it's important to get outside in the nice weather and try out some of these exercises either before or after you go for that walk, just to make the muscles in your body work just a little bit harder and for the right muscles to be turning on. So we're not overusing any muscle groups that don't need to be working. Okay, so the things you need, we're going to do 3 different exercises. You need a chair or be close to a wall just for balance if you do need it for safety. I'd ask that you grab 3 pillows. I just grabbed 3 pillows from my couch. And then the third item is a towel. So a body type towel instead of like a kitchen towel, because we're going to need to fold it a few times to get a little bit of height there. So grab those 3 items and then we're going to go ahead and get started. So a lot of times in class, you'll notice that we do a lot of exercises that focus on the lateral hip muscles. So right in this area in here, we focus on a lot. But I want us to make sure today that we're focusing on more hipless muscles. So our hip, when we're walking, our leg should come up. It shouldn't just move forward. And for a lot of us, our legs are dominantly using our quads, the front muscles of our legs when we're walking, which is what drives us forward, but also puts us in a little bit of a position forward, which kind of sets us up for a fall. So a lot of us are walking in a bit of a falling position. So in these exercises, I really want you to focus up tall, chest up, head forward, and keeping our hips forward at all times. So even though they may feel forward, it's important to check in, put your hands on your hips, and make sure that both of your hips, right and left, are facing forward. So the first exercise we're going to do is I'm going to have you grab your towel. So I've got a towel here, I've just folded it a few times, and we're going to lay it down on the floor. And what I want you to do is we'll stand with our left leg first. You're going to put your left leg on the towel. Okay, I want you to look down now at your foot, and I want to make sure the lateral, which is the outside edge of your foot, is in line with the line of the towel. Okay, so it's going to feel and it's going to look like your foot is pointing in, which is fine. Don't worry about that. Really focus on getting that lateral edge of your foot lined up with the edge of the towel. And then once you have that, you're going to shift your weight, and again, use the wall or a chair if you need it. You're going to shift your weight a little bit more into your heel, right? I want you to shift your weight back. So think of your bum going behind you a little bit more than it is right now. And stand with that body weight with a little bit more directed over the heel versus leaning forward and having it on the front of your foot. So shift that weight back. Again, this may be new for a lot of you. So just focus on what I'm saying and try your best to get to that position. Okay, so let's try and hold that. The goal would be to kind of work up to 10 seconds to 20 seconds to 30 seconds. So this leg here, the standing leg that's doing all the work right now, make sure that weight is more in your heel, so your body weight is shifted back slightly, and that your leg is not hyperextended. So there's a very, very small slight bend in my knee so that my knee is not completely locked. And then you're trying to let your foot just kind of graze over the floor. So mine is just above floor level right now. Check in on your hips. Where are they? If one is further back, bring it forward. All of these things are going to make it harder to stand on that standing leg, which is what we want. So you should start to feel it in the muscles here kicking in. So take a break when you need to, shake out that leg, and let's go ahead and try the other side. So my goal for you is to work on increasing the time that you do this. If you can do this every day, it would increase the time that you can do it, obviously, and strengthen those muscles just a lot faster. So something to really focus on doing before or after you go for a walk. So get your foot aligned, remembering to get the edge of your foot line up with the edge of the towel. Doesn't have to go all the way to the end. Just make sure that that line is straight with the towel. And then the goal is not to lift this. I don't want you to be lifting your foot or lifting your hip, pardon me. I want your foot to just graze. So if you are standing on a towel, it should be enough for your foot to just gently come off the floor and just graze the floor. So shift that weight back, get your butt behind you. Notice with some of you, one side's going to be weaker than the other, so maybe spend a little bit more time and focus on that one side. Remembering not to lock in that leg, which you'll be tempted to do, especially if this is your weaker side, because you want more stability. But that's not what I want you to do. We don't want to set up any injuries to that knee, so have a slight flex in the knee. Shift that weight back. You might have to keep doing it. Check on your hips. Are they facing forward? One may be further back, so pull it forward so that they're level. Everything's lined up and facing forward. Okay? So that's the first exercise. I expect it to be pretty challenging for most of you. I'm noticing that for some reason today, my right leg, which is usually stronger, the dominant one, is a little bit off balance today, which just means I need to work on this a little bit more. And also tap into some of my other leg muscles later to see what's a little bit off balance today. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is we're going to use pillows. So if you've got some throw pillows, whatever pillows you can gather, I grabbed 3. So 3 is a good number to start with. And you're going to lay them on the floor. Just one after each other. If they're different sizes, all the better. And we're just going to practice walking. So we're walking on uneven surfaces, which will definitely help with our stability muscles, okay? Because when we're walking outside, most of us tend to walk on the safest, flattest area possible. And although that may seem safe, it's not challenging your body, and it's not challenging all those stability muscles that need to be challenged in order to stay strong, to protect you from falling in the future and to having poor balance in the future. So all of these exercises are waking up those stability muscles that we desperately need to keep our balance good and strong. So when you're outside today, focus on walking on something other than just a flat surface. Maybe get up on the curb every once in a while and take a couple steps on the curb. It's like a balance beam, really. So practice walking on the curb and then stepping back down again. Do everything nice and slow, especially if it's your first time exploring new surfaces today. Especially if there's any walkways you can get to that've got rocks or gravel on them, walking on those, that's a bit uneven, and that's going to wake up a lot more muscles than just walking straight on asphalt. Okay, so continue walking just a little bit more, just to give you a different feel, right, than just walking flat on the ground. The different type of pillows you have, the better, because it's going to off-center you just a little bit more and challenge your muscles a little bit more. So the longer train of pillows you can make, the better. Okay? Good. So you can do that a few times. Again, it's nice to be able to have different types of pillows and thicknesses so you can challenge yourself a little bit more. The third exercise we're going to finish with is a penguin waddle. So you're going to stand out to the side. I want to see you stand like a penguin. Let's put our hands out like a penguin too. We're going to stand with our legs about hip width apart. Okay? Actually, let's make them just a little bit wider today. And we're going to practice kind of leaning to almost falling to the side and catching ourselves. So it's going to look like this. I'm just about to fall, but I'm having all of these lateral leg muscles kick in to hold me. Go back and forth a few times. Off to the side, hold yourself. Now you're going to have one side that's weaker than the other. So try and spend a bit more time on that weaker side. Keeping an eye on what's going on with this standing leg here that's holding you. What is your knee doing? Make sure you shift that weight back again. Get the butt behind you. And don't lock that knee. Hold there as long as you comfortably can until your leg starts your muscles start wobbling on you. And then switch to the other side. This really helps strengthen our lateral stability muscles. Let's do one more each side. And fall to the other side. Awesome. If you're not feeling it yet, then keep going until you start feeling it in those lateral leg muscles, and go back and try each of those exercises as often as you can, getting them in before you go for your morning walk, and then heck, do them again later in the day when you go for your afternoon walk. Have an awesome day, guys.